Hi there, I'm Haley and I'm the owner of Haley Willingham Photography, and I am starting the Posed Newborn, and I am so excited about it. Today's video is to tell you guys all about the Posed Newborn and my journey in photography and why I'm starting the Posed Newborn. So again, I'm Haley and I live in West Virginia, which isn't like Anthony Bourdain. What was the show that he did? Anthony Bourdain, he did the show Parts Unknown. It's not Parts Unknown, West Virginia. We're not way out in Huntington, that area. We are in the Eastern Panhandle, which is it's about an hour and a half, 2 hours from DC. So we're right near Maryland, Virginia, and Pennsylvania. I live in Martinsburg, West Virginia right now, and my studio, where we currently are, is in the historic Shepherdstown, West Virginia, which is about a few hundred feet from the Maryland border. We're right on the Potomac River. You cross the bridge and you're into Maryland. I shoot a lot of sessions in Maryland and Virginia and some in Pennsylvania as well. So I'm in that area. But we are still in a small town here. I do have clients who come to me from Frederick and come to me from Frederick, Maryland, that's what I'm talking about, and come to me from Virginia, Northern Virginia. But I do have a lot of clients in this smaller town in West Virginia where I grew my photography business. Oh, goodness, guys. So I started my business 8 years ago. I opened my business. I know, talking about it, it just seems like the years run together, but it has been 8 years because I opened my business in March 12th. I know that because that was my grandma's birthday. March 12th, 2011. It's been a good while. 8 years, over 8 years. And when I started because I had to leave my teaching job. I used to be a teacher, and then I left my teaching job when I had my twins. Yay. At the time I started my business, I had a 4-year-old, and then I was pregnant with twins. And my husband and I sat down and figured out what we would do, and that my paycheck didn't really cover daycare. So it was kind of not in our best interest for me to keep working. So I decided that that would be my last year teaching for a while, and I would stay home and raise the kids, which is great. Which is great if that is your calling, if that is what you want to do. Stay-at-home moms, great. I know, I feel like I do it all, but I love it. I'm a person that has to be working, that has to be doing something, that has to be staying busy. And so it didn't take me long to find something that I really wanted to do, that I really wanted to pursue for myself, and that was photography. When I got pregnant with my twins, I was so I did not know what to expect. No one I knew had twins. No one in my family had twins. We were like the first. It was really weird. I know. Everyone's like, does twins run in your family? It's like, no. No, they do not. I don't know how this happened. So I ended up joining this group on the internet called Baby Center. A lot of you probably know about it. I probably joined it when you had babies, or well, it was really popular back in 2010 when I joined. I think it's still popular now. I did not get on there for this last pregnancy though. But when I was on there, I was in my birth group. The group got twins, which was awesome because I learned a lot of information. And I also joined this little group called Amateur Photography. And through there were so many amazing photographers, so many amazing women who were interested in photography. And they just made me grow to love it so much. I bought a D3000, Nikon D3000. That was my first camera. And I got a I think my first lens was the 51.8. I now use the 1.4 a lot and the 35. But my first lens was the, what did I say? Oh my god, 51.8. Oh my gosh. And I just started practicing. I practiced on everything. When my twins were born, I practiced on them. I posted on the group for creative constructive criticism, which is referred to as CC, constructive criticism. If you're on any photography board, you know that. But yeah, and I grew as a photographer because of it. A lot of those girls are still my friends today. We formed a group in Facebook. I went to photograph a wedding with one of them, be their second shooter. I went to Minnesota and she came. I feel like I said Minnesota, like I'm from Minnesota. My accent came out. I'm remembering the days of A, and it was a lot of fun, all the Minnesota accents. But yes, I went to Minnesota and second shot a wedding with her, and then she came here and second shot a wedding with me. I know, you're probably thinking, Haley, this is post newborn. Why are you talking about weddings? Because girls, I did it all. Now I have focused more on newborns, but I do still shoot weddings. Very few, but I do. I can't turn away people that come to me and beg me to shoot their wedding. I know that sounds awful, but I will talk about this a lot. Building client relationships is so important to me. It is my main focus of my business. I believe that this is what made my business so great. And I have people come to me that want me to shoot their wedding because I have shot their best friend's wedding, or somebody that they know who's just raving about me, and they really want me to shoot their wedding as well, and they've already decided I'm going to be their photographer. So guys, I'm going to do it, and I like money. Right? Come on. We're in business to make money, and dance lessons are not cheap. Let me just I got twins in dance lessons. A daughter, I'm like an 8-year-old. What in the world? She's 12 now. She's going to be 13 soon. I have a 13-year-old in travel soccer. This stuff isn't cheap. So if I can shoot a wedding for one weekend, I'm going to do it. And I know that this sounds bad. Like, this might sound obnoxious, but I like weddings. I'm good at it. I can do weddings. It's easy money for me. Now, do not get me wrong. If you are starting out, it is not easy. But I have shot over 50 weddings. I love them. I know how to pose. And for right now, it's a breakup. Like, I do a lot of newborn photography. So if I get the chance to do a wedding, it's really fun for me. And it's really easy. It's like, 8 hours a day, and yeah. But we are here at the Post Newborn, so I don't even remember what I was talking about now. But, oh goodness, guys, I know. So I started my business. After I had my twins, I got a lot of help with amateur and beyond photography, or amateur photography. It did change to amateur and beyond photography when we started expanding and learning and all of that. And guys, there are some great names that were in that group. I'm not gonna say it, but there are some really good photographers now that have come from that group, and it's great. We all learn from each other. It's awesome. But so yes, I opened my business in March 2011. And I did a lot of family sessions, a lot of children sessions. I did in-home sessions. Newborns, I started with newborns, and I started doing in-home newborn sessions, which means I took my stuff to them. I stored all my stuff in my garage, took it to their house. I used natural light. I didn't use studio light at that time because it was easier for me, but I didn't like it. If you like doing that, more power to you. And there's definitely a market for that. So kudos, that's great. There's a big market for people that want you to go to their house and take their newborn pictures instead of coming to you. And there are people that want to come to a studio and not have you go into their house. So there's market for both. But for me, it just wasn't for me. I had 3 kids at the time, and I had to load all my stuff up. I had to take it to their house, pray that they listened to me and turn their heat up, and I had to bring heaters. I had to find a quiet place in the house, the perfect location, and sometimes there wasn't a perfect location. Guys, this is truth right here. I went to my best friend's house, one of my very close friends' house, and I was like, hey, I'm starting newborn photography. You just had a baby. I'll come take some pictures of your baby to use in my portfolio. I did that sometimes for friends. I didn't do completely free sessions for most people, but for my friends I did. So I went to her house, and I've been in her house before, guys. I knew what I was getting myself into. I was just praying. I was praying that somehow the light gods had come down from above and blessed her house in the 2 weeks since I've been there. It did not happen. There was no light in this house, and I didn't have studio lights. So what did we do? Well, it was, what was it, May? It was beautiful outside. We went out on her front porch and shot her newborn session on her front porch. There were cars driving by honking at us. And I will have to post, I have actually out there in the room is the picture of little baby Ava, who is now, 8. She's gonna be 8 this year? I think so. Little baby Ava in little baby basket. And it was a really good picture. Everyone still loves the picture that I took. I will have to show you guys when we do our studio tour next week. I'm gonna film the studio and we'll do the studio tour, so I'll point out Ava's picture. But it was taken on my friend's front porch. Oh gosh. Yeah, if you do in-home studio sessions, make sure you have a backup lighting system, or you might be outside, which might be okay if it's like May, but if it's December in West Virginia, you're not taking a newborn baby out on a porch. That didn't happen in Friends. You guys are probably like, oh yeah, she's a real West Virginian there and shooting a naked baby on a porch. Oh my gosh, guys. You do what you gotta do. So, yeah, so I was not really wanting to be a on location newborn photographer. I really wanted a studio, and it was becoming cold outside, so I couldn't shoot babies on porches anymore. And I knew that I might lose my clients. Like, I had switched my prices to be more competitive, to be more profitable, I would say, because I was working my butt off and not getting paid enough. I will talk about my prices when I first started out and all of that stuff in a later post. So follow me, subscribe, and we will get into that. But for the sake of not making this 2 hours, we are going to skip over that right now. But I was afraid that I would lose clients. So I decided that I needed to open my photography studio. I probably didn't need to, but I decided that I needed to. So I found a studio space. It wasn't a studio space. I found an office space in an office building. It was about as unphotography studio as you get. Now, that being said, I thought that I was like crazy for having a photography studio in an office. Turns out some other really good photographers do it too. So don't worry about where your photography studio is. That doesn't matter. Like, seriously, I mentored with some photographers, and I went into their place and I was like, it was a lot bigger than the one I had to start with, but I went in and I was like, my gosh, you have a studio in an office space in an office building. Like me. I thought it was crazy. And you're a great photographer, like a well-known photographer. Awesome. So yeah, I'm not going to share names or anything, but I'm sure you could go on my profile and figure it out because I had pictures. If you go all the way back, I think it was 2014, 13, I don't remember, from when I went and did a workshop. But it was crazy. It was an aha moment. Like, it doesn't really matter where you have your studio. It just matters that you can produce good photos, that you have a good business sense. It doesn't matter where you're located. But I had this little, but mine was so tiny. Hers was big. This one was really tiny, and it was really hard. I've got pictures. Next week, you're going to see it all. I have pictures. I found them. I was so excited that I found pictures of this tiny little space to show you guys where I started, because you wouldn't even believe it. It was bananas. I had a front room and then a back room. Oh my gosh, we're going to talk about that later next week. So yeah, so I had that space and I paid $400 a month for it. And I wasn't afraid that I wasn't going to make that. That was when I started. So I started my first prop shop then. And I taught myself how to knit on YouTube. And I opened my prop shop, Glamour and Glitz, which I had for a while. And I kept stopping and starting and all of that because I was kind of really busy. So I didn't do that. Then, when was it? Like a year or two later. I know I have exact dates, I'm sure I can find. But I was making pretty good money. I was doing better. And I decided that I wanted a bigger space. So I moved office spaces to a front place it was still on this place makes noises. It might be haunted. If you've ever watched like Ghosts of Shepherdstown. It's a show on the History Channel, look it up. But, I don't know why, so many noises. But I moved to this space. It was on the second floor. And it had a door, but it had a clear door. This one had a clear door. The other one had like a brown office door. This one had a door with like a window. So it looked like more hospitable. It was still on the second floor, but there was an elevator. So that was good because I did have clients with disabilities that couldn't climb stairs. So that was good that there was an elevator there. And yeah, so it was bigger. It had a front room. And then it had 3 back rooms. And you'll see that next week too. I have pictures of that one. Yay. So I was there for a while, but I really wanted a space with a street entrance. I wanted a street entrance. I wanted a sun. I wanted all this stuff. And I found a place. Okay, this office place I paid $850 for. Yes, and it included everything, all the utilities. So I really wanted another one, and I looked at a place that was on the street in that office center, street space, and it was like $1,100 a month or something crazy, maybe $1,050. And I don't think it didn't have everything included because it wasn't in the building. It had a separate system, so it was a lot of money. And I looked for a place in downtown Martinsburg, but it was not safe. I found this really cute studio location, but then a few days after, there was a gang shooting in front of it. Downtown Martinsburg isn't safe. It really isn't. There's a lot of drugs and gangs and all that stuff. So I didn't want a studio there. So I thought I was going to have to get a place in this building because I felt safe in this building. But then I started looking at Shepherdstown. I always thought it was going to be out of my price. It really did. And then I found this space and I was like, oh my gosh, I can afford it. I can afford it. So it was only $750 a month. That didn't include any utilities or anything like that. But it was only $750 a month. That place was like $11,000, like $10.50, something like that. $10.50, $11,000. Then this is better. So I came and I moved in here. You'll have to read the blog post next week, and I'll go over This place was not what it is now, let me tell you. It was trashed. And I'm pretty sure that's why I got this place for $750. But that is good. So I moved in here and it's been great. My clients love this space. I love this space. And I'm looking at it. Step space. We will see it. Yes. Next video, I'm going to show you the studio. So subscribe and follow me so that you get to see that. But yes, I moved in here. And I think it took me, when did I move in here? 2015 or 16? 15, I think, maybe. And I think that's when I started making a profit. I think it took me a good three years. I made a tiny profit at Texted. And then 4 years I made better profit. So I think it took me some time, guys, because I spent a lot. I invested a lot back into my business to buy lights and props and, oh my gosh, because newborn photographers need a lot of stuff. We don't need a lot of stuff, but we want a lot of stuff, don't we? There's so many temptations. So many props, so many things. So yeah. Okay, so that's a photography business. And I am now a successful photographer. I have clients. I'm booked regularly. I still have issues. I still have issues. But I still have struggles. I still have months where I'm like, why is nobody booking? Like, usually I'm steady booking. Why is nobody booking? It's usually January. It's always January. And then, yeah, March comes and I'm like, why didn't you have your baby in January? I cannot fit you in my calendar now. But yes, so I now have a pretty successful business, and I wanted to be able to help other photographers who are struggling with photography, who are struggling maybe with posing or with the business side, with client relationships, with whatever it is that you are struggling with. I want to help you. I will be doing the posing stuff. I will be doing a lot of that, like wrapping and posing and workflow and all of that stuff. But I will also be focusing a lot, especially on the blog and on YouTube, a lot on the business side, because I feel like that isn't covered enough. Excuse me. And it is a major reason why a lot of photographers fail. I have a lot of photographer friends who are amazing photographers, like so amazing, and they fail. They fail. It's not because their work isn't great, it's because they don't have the business side going. They don't have that going, and they can't make a steady income and be profitable, and they quit. And I want to help photographers, newborn photographers especially, to grow and to build your businesses and to flourish and answer questions that you may have and be your support system. I am starting a group on Facebook, a VIP community for newborn photographers, where we can get together and you can post pictures for CC, you can constructive criticism, you can ask questions and get help from me, from other photographers as well that are in the group, and form kind of a community of photographers. This is not a place to complain, not a place to complain about clients or to complain about your competition. This is just a place to get help and to lift each other up and help where you are struggling. So here at the Newborn Photographer, that is our goal. I also have props because I love props. So I'm going to share with you the props that I use and sell them in the store for you guys, the props that I use for sessions. And I am going to be selling digital files to help you with your business, to make things easier. The first thing that I'm working on is my newborn session guide to get that ready for you guys. I think this is amazing. This was a big game changer of my business because it helped me to upsell. Basically, it helped clients to get to know me and to get to know my business, and it helped me to upsell to packages. My guide is amazing. It has everything in it. I looked for a guide. I wanted it to be easy. I needed easy, but I couldn't find anything I wanted. I even bought a few, and they just weren't what I wanted. So I ended up making my own, and I'm going to share that with you guys. And I'm also going to be sharing the steps to make your own. So if you don't want to buy and you want to make your own, I'll share what is in it for you guys, what makes a great newborn photography guide. But then I will also be offering mine to purchase if you just want it to be easy like I did, and just buy it and fill in your stuff. Completely editable, not edible. You can't eat it. Don't try to eat it. It's digital. That would be weird and hard. But yeah, so I will be selling stuff in the shop to make things easier for you and for your business, and giving you free advice on the blog and in the community and all of that stuff. But we are here to help you guys grow your business. Yay, I'm so excited. I can't wait to get to know all of you guys better. Come join the Facebook group. Hopefully, there's a link below. But we are The Posed Newborn on Facebook, and it is www.theposednewborn.com, and our shop is theposednewbornshop.com, and our blog is theposednewbornblog.com. See, there is similarities here. So I'm getting hot because I had to turn off the AC unit in order to talk to you guys, because you wouldn't be able to hear me. So I am going to go for this week, but I am so excited to get to know you guys better and to show you more of my studio next week. We are going to tour this amazing studio, and yeah, lots of blogs to subscribe so that you don't miss any of our informative videos, and I can't wait to see you guys soon. Thanks guys, bye.